It's time. It's
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the King of the Couch back in your ear holes for another week of the King of the Couch podcast, the world's greatest podcast, probably. Episode 138. I am fucking happy to be here with you down your pretty little ear holes once again. Very, very late here on a Monday night. Very, very late. But doesn't mean you're listening to it late in the world, wherever you are. It's 10:09 p.m. here on a Monday night in sunny Queensland, Australia. Well, it's raining today, so you know how it goes. Hugely, first shout out. It's my pop's 89th birthday today. The man, the myth, the legend, Angus W. Cashpole. So happy birthday, Pop. Sorry I couldn't be there to see you today, but I'll get down very soon. Have a beer with you. We all love you lots. So, yeah, big shout out to the Pop. 89. He was the oldest one in the family by my math. That's pretty old. That's getting up there, you know? So, what a life. What a life. Obviously, I'm sitting here as well, too. We'll get to that in a sec, but we've got a few things to do just to get out of the way first. It is very late, though, isn't it? It is very late. How you been? You been well? That's good. I'm glad. I've been well too. I've actually been really well, really sprightly, really just got a big pep in my step. King of the Couch, please subscribe. If you're not already subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, podcast, wherever you listen to your fucking podcast, go and do it. But follow me on Spotify, subscribe on the Apple Podcast, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Never know who's watching, who's listening. Some episodes get more views, some get more listens. It's really hard to keep up. So, yeah, either way, just fucking listen and pay it forward to a loved one or an enemy. I don't care. Just pay it forward. And, yeah, of course, tonight for the month, that is May, the King of the Couch is supported by Manscaped. Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. Right, so go to manscaped.com. Put in the code KOTC, get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Tested it myself last week and it definitely works. So this is not a scam, everybody. But go and check it out. And they got a hell of a package deal at the moment. The Performance Package 4.0. That's what Manscaped sent me, and that's what's awesome. The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, it's a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. Got it right here. Never leave home without it. The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. That's why my nose is so bald at the moment, because I've been using the Weed Whacker. The Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. There you go. The Crop Reviver Toner. There you go. This smells delicious, by the way. I had it on my balls the other day. It's so good. It's so good that I want to wear it all over my body, but probably can. The Performance Boxer Briefs, which are delicious. Very, very smooth on my package and my butt and everything. And the travel bag to hold all your goodies. And they also sent me a nice little flash shirt. But go and check it out. Very cool brand. I have shaved my balls a lot in the past, as I'm sure a lot of men have. Had a hard time with nicks, and it's just a very sensitive area. I felt confident with Manscaped. I had heard a lot of really good reviews on Manscaped. It reduces the nicks, and that was one of the biggest things for me, but it's just handheld precision brilliance. It's so good, so easy to use. Highly recommend it. Manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping when you use the code KOTC. I would go and check that out. They got heaps of shit going on the website right now, so you might even jag sales on sales. KOTC is the code. Go and check it out. But yeah, here we are back for another week, episode 138. I'm damn glad to be here. I actually went to the gym tonight. Went to the gym. It's been so long since I've exercised, like actually exercised. I used to go to Hit Kawana. I probably talked about that heaps of times if you're a long time listener. Shout out Hit Kawana. They were doing they are doing a free week. So if you're on the Sunshine Coast, go and check it out. They're doing a free week. I saw it was an upper body session tonight, and I'm very vain like that. I hit the gym all chest, no legs. They call me Kanye. And yeah, it was so good. It was one of those ones I was actually really nervous about going, like a little bit nervous, because I haven't worked out for some serious time now, right? So I was quite nervous. I'll put my chair up here again. Have to do this every week. I feel like I'm slowly fucking shrinking. But Yeah, I was quietly nervous, but it was one of those things. It's kind of like a whole rip the band-aid sort of situation off. At the moment for me, I've been talking about getting into training again. I'm like, oh, I'll join Snap Up the Road. It's a bit cheaper, but then it's like still committing to something, and when we don't have heaps and heaps of cash at the moment, just being on one income sort of temporarily. So, mate, I love a deal. I love a steal. You know what I mean? I even love a scheme, but this was no scheme. I saw a free week. I jumped at the chance. All my old mates were there. It was honestly such a good time. And I'm pretty confident that certain parts of my chest, my shoulders, anywhere that I worked out tonight, especially my chest and my shoulders, it's torn. It's ripped up. I need some steroids to repair my body pretty quickly so I can get back in the gym ASAP. But come home, smashed a huge steak, some veggies, a little bit of white rice. It was just there. I had it. I'm not against the carb. And I'm sucking down a beautiful little ginger beer at the moment. I will say I bought myself a honeycomb flavored cranked. It was a protein drink. I just thought, you know what, I need it. I'm still waiting for a baby, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm still waiting for a baby. I don't want to be totally like decrepit and just like fucking tight in the birthing suite. You don't want that. I'm just gonna have a drink here. But you don't want that. But it was sick. The parts of my body that felt sore going into the gym, I don't have that soreness anymore. So it really does pay to move your bodies, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of those things though. It's like you've been gone so long and you're just like, fuck, I've got to get back into it. Now I've done it once. It's like, well, I've got no excuse, right? So, and you know what? It's 10:15 on a Monday night. I could have bitched it. I could have been like, you know what, I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit sore from working out. Like I went pretty fucking hard, mind you. But it could have been that bit of a pussy, and gone, I'm not going to do the show tonight. I'll postpone it till fucking Tuesday night, like the lamest of all days. Tuesday's only good because the King of the Couch comes out. Otherwise, it's a fucking nothing day. But I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm a fucking champion and I'm getting on for all the other champions that listen to me. The King's men, the King's women, the King's people. They need me. So here I am. I just wanted to share that with you. And I tell you what, I'm on day 17 of sobriety, no booze. I didn't intend to not drink for this long, but I'm kind of enjoying it now. You could probably tell I'm pretty energetic. I feel like I'm always pretty energetic on this show, but I'm feeling extra energetic tonight. And I tell you what I think got me through the gym is the fact that I hadn't drunk for some time, because I definitely haven't slowed up on the twisties, the cookies. Man, Arabella even made some cookies over the weekend. Shout out Arabella. It was so good. So we smashed the cookies. Then I opened another bag of cookies that we had in there. I've eaten twisties. I've been drinking the non-alcoholic beers, Kirk's ginger beer. Like I'm not afraid of sugar. So it's just one of those things. But I reckon because I didn't have alcohol in my system, I went, sort of A-okay. So very good to get back and train, and I am really kind of enjoying not drinking at the moment. It's a real catch-22 of like, you'd love to settle down with a drink in the evening, maybe with your loved ones or some friends. You know what I mean? It's just a nice thing. But in my line of work, when you go so hard, you're trading in a night for a day. That's what it was, and the benders are just no good for me anymore. I can't do it. So I'm hoping that I'm old enough, wise enough, mature enough now to sort of say, hey, no, King of the Couch, when you're going to go and drink for the second, the third, and the fourth day in a row, don't do it, because the demons crawl back into the brain. Physically, I'm okay in like a day or two, I reckon. Mentally, it's like 5 to 7 days now. I really, really fucked myself after Easter, so I'm kind of scared to go back to that place, frankly. So I will stay par for the course right now. I will stay sober until... Now, I've got a second child being born. I frankly didn't think I'd be doing this podcast here this week. I thought for sure I might have had to like hang up the mic for a few days, and I could have been, in the birthing suite last week. I was that sure that after I finished recording the show, edited up and posted it, etc., I packed down the tripod, put it in my overnight hospital potential stay bag, and that's where I was going to take the tripod out into the birthing suite, because Beck said that she can't remember giving birth last time. And I know it's a pretty emotional, sacred thing. It's definitely emotional. It's an ordeal, right? Let's be honest. It's a freaking ordeal. It's a huge scene. But I thought, she wants to see it. And she did say, she's like, look, I want to remember things about it because I couldn't remember anything from last time. So I was like, okay, right. So I was like, I'll bring the tripod. And like, podcasting me, I'm thinking, well, there's a bit to it. You know what I mean? Do I bring the ring light as well? Do I set the mics up and we get the full experience? And I'm like, do you want me to put music to this? And she's like, no, it's just a personal thing. It's just for me. I was like, right, cool. So bring the tripod. But anyway, long story short, I was so sure that we were going to the hospital last week that I packed the tripod away, but I've had to unpack it tonight, set it all back up. Lucky it's pretty fucking easy. You just put it in front of you and hit go. It's actually pretty cinch. So I'll pack it up again in the bag after this in hope that we'll be going to hospital this week. And I think we will. I think we will, because the midwife appointment today, don't want to give too much away, but they do their prodding and their touching and all that sort of stuff, and they know what they're doing, so it's happening. But yeah, this week baby number 2 will be here, so I'm very, very excited, and I'm really excited because it's a surprise. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl or a boy. I don't know. I'm very excited. So yeah, really excited for that, actually. And it's like kind of that point now, it's been dragging on so long. I mean, it's 9 months, you know what I mean? 9 and a bit months. It's like, right, fuck, let's go, like, let's get it done so then we can be a family of 4 and we can start, like, crafting out that part of our journey. But anyway, few things to talk about tonight. We've got I don't know how much time we got. I'm recording on my phone. I record on my phone every week. I don't have heaps of room on my phone, so I might somewhat rush this certain episode. Frankly, my weekend was boring as anyway, because like I didn't drink and there was not much on. The weather was pretty fucking pish. So I'll race through the weekend. But wanted to talk about a lot of things tonight. Got a couple little things, movies and stuff like that. But a big thing on abortion tonight. I put a little post out today and got some good feedback. People made me think, and it was awesome. That's what I like. But anyway, my weekend, Friday night, can't remember. It was fairly boring, but the Broncos played, so it wasn't boring because they won, and that's exactly what we wanted. So that was a good Friday night. Probably watched a movie. I did watch a movie, and it's part of my 2 movie reviews that I will give you straight after the weekend. Saturday, again, weather wasn't too bad. It was a little bit sunny, a little bit cloudy. It was one of those ones where you wanted to wear a jumper because you woke up and it was like cloudy, and then it was sunny, and it was just one of these things. Speaking of jumpers though, rocking the KOTC college crew. Haven't worn this in like a few months, probably 6 to 8 months. I've got 2 left over. I'm going to do a post tomorrow, 100% do a post tomorrow on Instagram about it. But I got 2 large left over. I'm wearing a medium. I'm 5'7", 32-inch waist. If you listened to the show last week, you'd know all about that. But yeah, I want to get rid of them. 25 plus postage. So if you listen to the show and you want one of these and you're a large, buy it for yourself, buy it for a loved one, whatever. Hit me up. But I'm going to post about it tomorrow. I really want to get rid of them. Saturday, pretty chill. Went to the shops. We went to take Arabella to a place called Cheeky Monkeys, which is like a indoor sort of soft play center, which are fucking great for kids. Like parents, you probably understand this, but shitty weather, no big deal. Go and pay $10 in one of these giant fucking foam castle things with balls and things they can jump off and slides and all sorts of shit. It's so good. For $10, it's the fucking ideal. But we rocked up to Quana and they'd packed up, they'd left, they've gone. So they're no longer there. So Arabella was probably disappointed, eh? She was just like, I don't know what to do with my life right now. And I was like, fuck, what do I do? Because we couldn't find another one. So we've located another one. I think it's called Chipmunks. They've always got cute names. Cheeky Monkeys, Chipmunks, anything like that. They love it, you know what I mean? Happy Giraffe, might start a franchise. So that was sort of Saturday. Watched a bit more sport. Saturday night, we got Beck's sister in town. She's a mad cook, so she's like every night she's been cooking like something really nice for dinner. I think she cooked nice spaghetti on Saturday night. Really good spaghetti, actually. I thought she was gonna like overdo it, like with the cheffery, all the flavors and stuff. But mate, I was so naive. Beautiful flavor, and Arabella smashed 2 bowls of it, so it's a win-win. If Arabella's eating it, it's a win. That's all I give a fuck about. But yeah, Saturday night, started watching another movie with Beck, which is also part of my movie of the week. I got 2 because they were both bang-on movies, hey. But yeah, that was pretty much Saturday. Yesterday was Mother's Day, so shout out all the mothers out there. I love the mums. You gotta love the mums, because without the mums, we wouldn't be here. Without my mum, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. So shout out to my mum, Leanne Thompson. I love you very much. And of course, shout out to Beck, the mother of my daughter and soon to be girl or boy. Don't know what it is, obviously. But yeah, huge. Being a mum is just so cool. I like mums. I love them. Love mums, in fact. Got a lot of time for mums. But they're so important. Women just in general are so important. I love women. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love them. They're my favorite. They beat the men hands down, and I can say that because I'm a man. But yeah, Sunday was a pretty good day, pretty chill. It was that cold. It was nice. I'm liking that the weather's getting cold. Like, it's that nice, you can wear jumpers. I like wearing jumpers. I feel like I got a body to wear jumpers, long pants. You know, I've got skinny legs, got hairy legs, pretty pasty unless I hit the sun. I'm a jean guy. I look good in pants, you know what I mean? I look good in the KOTC college crew, you know? I look good in a white t-shirt, but I look pretty good in this too. So I, for one, am liking this cold weather. It's delicious. It's so much easier to get warm than it is to get cool, I think, quickly anyway. So there you go. That's my 2 cents of that. But that was pretty much Sunday. There was UFC 274, which Jared invited me around. Thank you very much for the invite. Didn't come. I thought I'd stay at home and just do the Mother's Day thing. We sort of postponed Mother's Day for a week, I will say. Do you ever come into these like substantial sort of holidays, and you don't need to go mental and spend thousands and thousands of dollars, but being on one income, we're a little bit skint coming into payday, which is Friday, so it's kind of like this situation. I was like, oh, hey, look, let's just sort of push Mother's Day presents and, extravagant fucking picnics out until next weekend. And yeah, we didn't know when she was going to go into labor, which hasn't happened yet. So anyway, it's just annoying when that happens. Mother's Day's coming up. You don't put money aside for it because life happens and there's all sorts of shit going on. Then it hits it and you're just like, oh God, I'm here with nothing to give you except my love. So it was a little bit Bill Clinton-ish, that. Yeah, but that was Sunday. Last night we finished the movie that we started on Saturday night because Beck was tired. Fair enough. I really wanted to just fucking binge it, just blitz it, get it all done in one night. But it was a really good movie. But that was pretty much it. Your boy stayed up fairly late last night watching TV. I've got this thing at the moment where I just can't seem to get to bed before midnight. And it's not really a bad thing. Like, it's like, no pun intended, it's not actually keeping me awake at night, worrying about not getting to bed at night. But yeah, I don't really care, but I just, for the life of me, it's like, oh yeah, it's midnight again. I think in the last maybe 3 weeks, I've been to bed once before 11, maybe. Definitely not asleep before 11. So tonight, it's 10:30. Can't see me going to bed before midnight, you know what I mean? I'll chop this shit up for you beautiful people to get it down your ear holes. And then I'll probably go down to the couch and suck down some of my cranked honeycomb protein. 20 grams of protein, because I just fucking hit the gym. But yeah, that is it. 2 movie reviews. This could be a shorter show tonight, not because I'm trying to rush through it. I'm just conscious of my video camera running out of room. But we got 2 movies for you. The first one, In the Name of the Father. Great movie. Daniel Day-Lewis, Pete Postlethwaite, I think that's his name, and Emma Thompson. So good. Unreal. True story, set 1974 in Belfast, Northern Ireland, England, right? So at this time, the IRA were just going absolutely mental. It's a true story, mind you, and it's one of those ones about someone that's wrongfully imprisoned. I don't want to do a spoiler alert and give it all away here, but basically, IRA bombing happens in England. 2 Irish guys, the Guildford Fort. 4 Irish people are pinned with the bombings. They are not IRA. They go to jail. Anyway, you can see what happens. But yeah, just one of those movies that like sort of, I always get grateful in my own position, and because you're like, God, I'm so glad I'm not in their position right now. And you kind of go, to me, being wrongfully imprisoned is like a nightmare. I think that's like one of the worst things that could happen. You know what I mean? Apart from like maybe dying like prematurely and stuff. But like just going to prison for something that you know that you haven't done and everyone thinks you've done it, which is even fucking, just insult to injury. But yeah, In the Name of the Father on Netflix. Go and check it out. Daniel Day-Lewis, the guy's a superstar. Pretty good soundtrack too. And being, my dad's from Ireland and stuff like that, like when you see pictures of Northern Ireland, video of Northern Ireland, there's a little bit of nostalgia there for me too. But yeah, not the whole IRA thing, not that bombing part, but the scenery and stuff like that, the pints of Guinness. In the Name of the Father, Netflix, go and check it out. And the other movie I watched, which it's been some time, I sort of was like, I wanted to see it, but I sort of brushed it to the side, frankly. Cruella on Disney Plus, the story about Cruella de Vil, really fucking good. I actually really liked it. It was like one of those movies where I was like, I didn't expect to like it so much, and it blew my absolute dick off. I loved it. Firstly, the first thing I noticed, it has a fucking great soundtrack. Probably one of the best soundtracks of a movie I've seen in a very long time. Very cool, right? Emma Stone's cool. The guys that play Horace and Jasper are cool. And just, I thought it was really cool how they sort of tied the backstory of Cruella. Like, everyone's seen 101 Dalmatians, I'm assuming. So she's like this evil bitch that wants to like slice up the 101 cute Dalmatians to just make a coat, you know what I mean? So it's like fucking down for that. The murder of animals and fur coats and shit. It's a horrendous situation. I've talked about Disney fucking movies before. But then when you like go back and see her origin story, you're like, oh, I get why she's a bit of a bitch. You know what I mean? Doesn't like these Dalmatians. I get it. You know what I mean? But really good. Really good. I liked it. I liked it so much, in fact, that I could even watch it again with Arabella when she's of age. I thought maybe a little bit too scary for her. So they're my 2 movies of the week. I am going to give you a song of the week, and I'll be honest, I haven't even wrote one down, but I'm going to give you a song of the week because this one is so good. I would go and listen to Dream Widow's album, and it's a heavy metal album, and the song I'm going to give you on that is Encino. I really like it. It's 1:38. If you like heavy shit that's bashing your eardrums, go and listen to Dream Widow with Encino. That's really good. I like that one. But I'm having a hard time. I'm in May, 9th of May. I'm a music lover. And I will be honest, I'm having a hard time finding a fucking plethora of new albums to wrap my ears around that I'm really liking. You know what I mean? And that's not to say there's not a lot of music out there. There's nothing that I'm just gelling with. I'm actually just listening to a lot of older music, right? This past fortnight, right? I swear to God, it's just been like the best of 1999 rock. Can't get enough of it. I was smashing AC/DC the other day. I was smashing Queen again since I watched Bohemian Rhapsody the other week. So good. And I'll listen to the Dream Widow album. That's a new one from this year that I really, really liked. But I like the new Red Hot Chili Peppers album. There's a few tracks on I really like. I'm loving Rancid, loving The Bronx, loving NoFX. Just one of those things, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I just haven't found another album that I'm really fucking gelling with yet. So if anyone's got any, like, good music they want to recommend me, hit me up because I'd really like to hear it. Now, on with the show. A few things have happened in the media. I'm going to talk about this one little thing here. I don't know why I just wrote this down. It was a sort of a silly sort of thing. But I used to do it when I drank a lot, right? Beck calls me into the room the other day, and she texts me, right? We live in the same house, so she texts me when I'm at work. You know, I respect that. Let me just have a drink of this fucking ginger beer. It's 10:30. I don't want to slow down yet. I need a sugar high. I need to keep going, people. Oh, yeah. It's a Bernie drop. So she texted me the other day going, how cute are Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively? Like, I'm like, yeah, so fucking cute. You know what I mean? So cute. It keeps me up all night. And I can't ever get over their cuteness. But they are pretty cute, right? Ryan Reynolds, I mean, he just basically plays himself in every movie. He's typecast, right? But, like, imagine being Ryan Reynolds for a second. Do you know what I mean? Like, the guy's 6'2". He's fucking lean as fuck. He's so lean, right? He's funny, right? He has a hot girl wife, Blake Lively, and she seems funny as too. She's hot. She's nice and tall. They're like a power couple. They're beautiful together. The guy started Aviation Gin. He's worth like $1 bajillion. You know what I mean? He doesn't even look like he drinks alcohol, but yet he's just sold like an alcohol company for like close to $1 billion. Get real. And she, being Beck, has the audacity to text me and just be like, how cute are Ryan and Blake? Can you treat me like Blake Lively and you treat yourself like Ryan? I'm just like, you're kidding me here, eh? And then she goes, how tall is he? And I go, he's got to be like 6'3". And she's like, is he that tall? And she was like upset because she realized that I'm only 5'7" in that moment. It was just like one of those things. She was just like, yeah. And that's when it clicked to me because it became a real body issue thing for me there because he's got a sick ass body, right? And I know that she's just constantly like mentally masturbating over his body, right? And I get that. This is the world. I'm a realist. This is the world we live in. She can think about Ryan Reynolds' body. You know what I mean? If I close my eyes and think of it, gorgeous. You know what I mean? It is good. Blake Lively, equally as gorgeous. Ryan, Blake, they work so well together. Anyway, what I was getting at here is, do you ever, as a man, and I do this all the time, and this is not a gay thing, this is not an anything, this is actually like a sort of an inspirational fitness post, if I will. I look at Ryan Reynolds, right? Sick rig, sick body. But the fact that I know he's 6'2", I kind of go, oh, not going to be able to achieve that exact look because he's 6'2", I'm 5'7". There's a good 5, 6, 7 inches between us, give or take a shoe. You know what I mean? And I'm just not going to be able to do that, babe. Like, I can't do that. I'll do all the sweet things that he does. Just I won't be able to present the lean body. And to Daniel Radcliffe, right? I saw he's got a new movie coming out, Weird Al Yankovic, and I watched the trailer the other day, and his shirt was off in this particular part of the trailer. And I thought, hang on, Dan, like, pretty good rig. I didn't realize he was so sort of yoked, you know what I mean? I had a look at him online. He's not that tall, 5'7", I believe, 5'8" even. He's Zac Efron, right? You know what I mean? Zac Efron is 5'8". So then I look at those bodies and go, pretty achievable. I could do that because we're the same height. Body, you know what I mean? Genetics, none of that comes into it. It's all about height for me. It's not even about effort. It's about height. If I'm 5'7", they're 5'7", they've got abs, I don't have abs. That's achievable for me to get abs, in my opinion. But seriously, in all seriousness, I actually do that. I've like looked at Zac Efron before and gone, 5'8", we're basically the same height. You know, I'm even going to look up Daniel Radcliffe's exact height because I'm pretty confident he is exactly my height, which is mental, right? He's shorter than me. I could tally him up. 1.65 meters high. He's very short. I don't even know how high that is. That's like 5'4". I'm 5'7". I'm towering above Daniel Radcliffe. If he's got that body, I can achieve that. At the 3-inch difference, I could achieve a better body right now. But seriously, good shout to him. He's yoked in some photos I've seen him. Hey, remember he got his dick out for that play years ago? But what I will say, I will add on to this. Sorry, I do this all the time, especially when I'm drinking. I don't know if other guys do this. Look, I'm not actively looking for like half naked dudes on my Instagram after I've had a few drinks. I'm not that way inclined. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I'm not that way inclined. But I can appreciate hard work when I see it. So like I'll be scrolling through Instagram and stuff, and I might see a yoked dude, and then I realise that they're probably my height, and I'll go, very achievable. I like where my head's at. And when I wake up and I finish that whole bottle of rosé, I'm going to go straight to the gym and get on my health journey. It, of course, subsequently never happens. But a boy can dream, right? So I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. There's any other guys doing that? I'm sure chicks do that too. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big thing. People go, I can look like that. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, like I want such and such's hair. Like you see a face sometimes too, and you go, God, they got a good face. You know what I mean? Like Beck was pointing out this hot dude before online. It never didn't bother to me because I know he's hot too, and we know this guy. I'm not gonna say his name on here. Don't want to give him a big head, but like. She's like, God, he's just so cute. And I'm like, cute. That's really playing it down. He's fucking hot as. And I'm just like, I'll never have that. Like, I'm looking at his face going, there's not a blemish in sight. Like, I'm looking at my face here and I've counted about 27 blemishes. I look at his. I've been scanning his photos for years and never a blemish. Anyway, enough with the self-pity. I love myself. Doesn't matter. I look good. I have merch. I have my own fucking merch. You know what I mean? I got all the things I need here. I got all the Kirk's ginger beer I need. I got Manscaped fucking supporting the show this month. KTC, manscaped.com, 20% off, plus free shipping. And I fucking ask you for my trouble. Anyway, two things. Dave Chappelle got attacked last week on stage at the Netflix is a Joke Festival. That was pretty hectic, actually. I think it, timely too because of the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock slapping saga. But yeah, I didn't expect to see him get attacked on stage. Pretty scary stuff, realistically. I know comedians say crazy shit, but I don't think it warrants them to be attacked on stage. This guy, you never know what it is. I'm sure like mental health or some issue played a part, but apparently the guy, I saw the footage, he stormed the stage, he had a knife and he tried to stab Dave Chappelle. He tackled him. They had a bit of a tackle. Luckily, Dave's entourage or security or whatever, they come on and subsequently like beat the crap out of him, beat the shit out of him. I think they might have even broke his arm. He looked pretty fucked. I'll be honest, the guy looked pretty fucked. He's been charged with like some sort of like attempted assault or something like that. Yeah, it just these things. It's pretty scary though, right? In this day and age, that like, and I always think of Dimebag Darrell, right? Like he got shot in the head on stage, so it's like you can't be too careful, right? As these guys, and it's sort of scary too because like people go up and like he's a comedian, right? And he says crazy things, right? Some people will laugh at it, some people hate it, other people are just they're impartial to it, right? But you just don't know with these sort of guys. Like it could be anything, I thought my first thought was like, and this is not hate on the transsexual people, but I know that he had like a lot of criticism for transsexual people from his last Netflix documentary. There was a huge backlash because of that. My first thought was like, fuck, maybe it was like a transsexual person that's gone up there and like that's the thing that's the catalyst. But I mean, it's crazy. I just don't think you should go up on stage and attack anyone. But this guy definitely had some issues, I dare say, by looking at the photos of him. But yeah, pretty crazy. You know what I mean? That could have been like the difference between like him like living and dying if he got stabbed on stage that night, which is absolutely crazy. So, but yeah, a little bit more. notoriety for Dave Chappelle. Pretty crazy. I didn't see that one coming too. But the 11-day festival of the Netflix is a joke festival. That was crazy. 11 days. But of course, Chris Rock was there. He had a great little. I will cap it off for this. He had a great little thing. He came out after and did his bit, and he said, "Was that Will Smith?" How good? Just little jabs, little baby jabs. I like that. Now, let's get on with the big major topic I wanted to talk about tonight. The big major topic I wanted to talk about tonight. I put a post on Instagram today, and I'll be honest, I cheekily did it because I knew it was going to ruffle some feathers, right? And what I wanted to do, I can't even find what I said. Basically, I've been thinking about this all week, right? And I wanted to, I was like curious to go, what's the bet that a lot of people that are anti-abortionists are pro-gun in America, right? And I got a lot of feedback, right? Mostly from a lot of females, which I appreciate. I'm probably going to read some of what they said. I'm not going to say the person that's written it, of course, but I'm just going to read like some of the things that I got back. I had a good friend that he came with like a rhetoric that was kind of the opposite, right? But it was one of those things that's just so. It's so heated right now in America, right? And from the outside looking in, I just go, God damn, like it doesn't seem to even be a thing that should be an issue right now, right? So just to go back a little bit, I actually had to look this up, and you can never, when it's got the law and legal shit involved, you can never find a 2-second explanation of it. Everything's like 44,000 pages long. But there's this case, Roe versus Wade. It goes all the way back to like 1970. Basically, this lady, Norma McCorvey, was a Texas mother of two, became pregnant with the third. She wanted an abortion, but the state's laws denied her access to the procedure unless the mother's life was in danger. So basically, she then launched a case against Texas or whatever, under a different identity, right? And basically wanted to challenge the whole anti-abortion stance on that, right? Sadly, I was reading through this, like she gave birth to the kid and then she put the kid up for adoption. So I don't know what happened to that kid, right? So that's one thing to think about, right? When you don't want to have a kid, then you have to have the kid, and then do you keep the kid? You don't even have to keep the kid, right? So then you can give the kid away. You can put it up for adoption, which is absolutely mental to me. So you've got this situation where, like, and I know there's people out there that can't have kids. I will say that. So I will say I'm never on the fence, but I can see both sides. So this is going to be another situation where I'll look at this situation and I'll have probably 2 cents from both sides. But I'm pretty on the side of pro-abortion. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really see why abortion is illegal anywhere in the world. I just don't. I will put that out there loud and clear. And in terms of like pro-gun, I don't really give a shit about guns, right? I've lived in a country where guns have basically been banned on the street since before I was born, and I've never felt the need in my life to go, you know what? I need a gun, right? Not even for recreational purposes, but just to feel safe. I'm glad that we live in a country like Australia, because I don't think that we have such a dangerous country at this point where I can walk down the street without needing a gun, you know what I mean, or fear of being attacked by a criminal, you know, or even being attacked by the fucking police, you know, which is another argument about this, right? I think in a way, but that's got nothing to do with anti-abortion. But anyway, Roe versus Wade. So this goes back all the way to like the early 70s, right? Which is crazy. This is like 50 years ago. Apparently, if I'm reading this correct, that it was passed, Roe versus Wade, was like he was the opposing guy, the Attorney General of Texas at the time, sorry. That I'm paraphrasing here, so sorry. But yeah, anyway, so that they went to court, the baby was born, put up for adoption, and I believe eventually they went anti-abortion. Now, it turns out for some reason there was like leaked documents very recently, and it showed that they were going to do a backflip on this Roe versus Wade thing and make abortion illegal again in Texas, I believe. Just Texas, but it could be in a lot of parts of America. I just seen something the other day, they bring the firing squad back. They are really kicking it old school in a lot of these states, right? Very crazy time in the States right now. I don't know, I feel like, I will say up front, society at the moment is very interesting, right? We've got all sorts of shit happening with the planet. There's people that believe in climate change. There's people that don't believe in climate change. The world's been smashed by a pandemic for 2 years. And when I say smashed by a pandemic, I don't mean purely just by the pandemic, because I don't think it has. And I know that sounds crude because people have died and stuff like that. I think it's been more smashed by like government mandates and all sorts of fucking maniacal shit like that and forcing vaccines and stuff like that. I got the vaccine, right? That's not about that. But the fact that they're forcing this sort of stuff, which is another good take on this anti-abortion thing, right? So I'll go through. Firstly, I just don't see why it's a big deal. And it's crazy that America are even looking at passing an anti-abortion thing. I think in this day and age, it's not even up for debate, right? Like, I don't, and I'd love to come across someone who is anti-abortion, right? I just need to know what their theory is behind that, right? I say, from my 2 cents, I would say it's because someone maybe like this third kid who could have been aborted and is born, he would come out and say, I'm glad that I wasn't aborted, right? Because I am enjoying my life. That, of course, there could be people on the other side too that go, you know what, like, I hate my life, I want to kill myself, right? So I wish I was aborted, right? Very, very morbid to think about. But I just don't think, like, abortion should be made illegal, right? I happen to know a lot of people that have had abortions, and I just think, like, I'm 33, I'm about to have my second kid. Me at 20, having a kid, I don't know if I would have been that way inclined. I don't even know if I would have been a good dad, right? I didn't have the maturity, right? I don't know, you grow up fast and stuff like that, but I didn't have the maturity at all at that age. So I probably would have done a piss poor job of it, right? Plenty of help around me, would have done a piss poor job of it. But there's just so many things that I think of, like sexual abuse, rape victims, stuff like that. Again, you have to look at all these, like, really morbid situations, right? And I love, like, I don't like bringing that up, but it's, like, the best way to, like, highlight why, like, I can't really fathom why, like, abortion, would be illegalized, right? Because, like, what if you had someone that was raped, they were then impregnated, and then they had to keep the kid of the attacker, right? What if it was, like, your wife that was raped and you already had a couple of kids, and then there's a third kid coming along from the sexual abuse attacker? You know what I mean? Like, there's those sort of really fucked up situations and these are the things that, like, I think about that makes it a real clear cut thing. Like, yeah, no, you've got these fucked up situations like that, and that's the thing. The other thing is that, like, I think that someone's body in that regard is their thing, right? And they can do what they want with it, I don't care about transsexuals and stuff like that. They can change their body the way they will. If someone is made pregnant, if a woman is made pregnant and they want to get rid of the baby, it doesn't even have a name yet. If it's not really formed yet, you know what I mean? It's not really even a thing, right? You can then do it. There's humane ways, I believe, to do this, right? It's not like it's a totally barbaric situation anymore. I could be out of line, but that's my feeling on that situation, right? So there's that to look at. But yeah, again, looking at that situation, right, where I'm not surprised that, like, people are making decisions for women or even human beings, because it has happened a lot over the last 2 years, right? Because we've gone through times now where they've mandated people wearing masks, they've mandated social distancing, they've mandated fucking vaccinations, which is, I guess, is an invasion of someone's body as well. Kind of like how people get riled up about fucking abortions, right? It's like, well, why don't want a vaccine in me? Do you know what I mean? Like, why have I got to do that? It's the same sort of train of thought, right? So I agree. I don't think that people, someone comes along, hey, Araz, you got to do this with your body. It's like, well, I don't want it. It's like, yeah, but you got to, right? Because it's the law. So, but it wasn't once the law, but now we're changing it to be the law. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't really like that. And I wouldn't like that to happen to anyone else. There's so many angles for this, right? And I'd love to have a chat with someone that is like, and is like anti-abortion, you know what I mean? I gotta get the antis and the pros, holy fuck. But it's just crazy, you know what I mean? I used like the likeness of the anti-abortion and the pro-gun, because I feel like that's a really interesting concept in America. Is like that it seems like everyone in America is so pro-gun, right? Have you heard Joe Rogan talk about it, and how there's been like, people in Texas all carry guns and shit like that, and there's like a low crime rate in Texas because everyone's probably shit scared that someone's got a fucking gun. It's saying that, I will say that America has like a really high death rate from the police officers in America, which is interesting. I actually looked up a stat today. I shared it, but like, of the 10 places, I think one was a Western country, right? And that being America was like number 7 in the world. It was absolutely mental when you compared it to, say it was like 3,000 something deaths a year by gun violence, and then Australia was like 30, Canada was like 20. It was crazy. Like, it was just like, it's just so fucking crazy distance, right? When I saw Bowling for Columbine years ago, and I know that's a documentary and there's an angle for that as well, but when I saw that, you're like, God, this is mental, some of these things, you know? That to me is just the one that gets me. It's like when you see a school shooting, when a 10-year-old can have like an AK-47 somewhere in his house, pick it up, put it in his bag, take it to school, shoot a whole bunch of defenseless kids of the same age. That shouldn't happen in society. And if it does happen in society, you should probably take those guns away and make it harder for that situation to happen. Yeah, the gun one was interesting. But some of these people that I was even talking to today, they were like, you know, like for abortion, and they were like still pretty like pro-gun, right? So I just drew to that because I knew there was like a crude joke in there, which I won't make. But there was a crude joke in there somewhere because it was like people are so anti-abortion and killing people and stuff like that. But then they're like, oh yeah, but we love our guns and don't take away our rights, and we need guns to protect ourselves, you know, from the fucking criminals out there, you know? So it's like openly willing that they're happy to kill someone if their fucking lives are in danger. But yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to fucking abort a baby. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely crazy to me. I don't even know. I feel like there's probably a big religious push on this. There's always been that like shit smell of religion, like underlying politics, in my opinion. In our own Scott Morrison, the world class ScoMo, he's an out and out Hillsong fucking enthusiast, you know what I mean? He loves the church, right? He's always giving money away, hard tax paid money. He didn't give like 44 million to the Hillsong Church, something like that. Something about these political dudes that are so heavily ingrained in some sort of fucking church system just makes my skin crawl. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't even know why a religious aspect would come into it. You know what I mean? I love Americans love that too. You know, it's not just an American problem, but I love these people that reference a book like the Bible from a fucking billion years ago. Whoever wrote it, who knows? Did Jesus write it? I don't know. It's the same as like, hey, we have our right to bear arms from the Constitution, which is like hundreds of years ago, right? Shit changes. I'm pretty certain when that Constitution was written, I think slavery was still fucking cheered for. You know, they loved it. You know what I mean? So if the shit changes, right? Things change all around it, but then there's certain things that people go, you know, we need that. It's just crazy though. In my life, I've the gun thing. I don't get it. I'd love to hear someone's thing. Recreational use of a gun, I get it. People like to go hunting, stuff like that. If that's the thing they want to do, they might be shooting for fun at a fucking glorified dartboard. That's fine. I get that. You want to do that? You want to have fun that way? You can do that. The whole pro-gun thing, we need fucking, automatic weapons in our closets just in case. I don't know. That doesn't really fly. I think you'd get over that pretty quickly too in years to come, right? You'd eventually get over it. You'd be like, yeah, cool. Interestingly, we'll get back to the abortion thing shortly, and we'll wrap this show up tonight, but I don't want to ramble too long. But the gun thing, right? So I think Joe Rogan has said before that the Texas thing, right? There's less crime in Texas because everyone has a gun, so everyone feels safer, right? So they don't want to fuck with anybody, right? But then you've got that opposing side of it. There's always two sides to every story, right? Two sides to every coin. And there's always that thing where there's more police-related deaths in America than probably any other Western country in the world. And I'm thinking, is that because the cops are shit scared because they know that like everyone is armed, right? So then they got to go full-on mental about it. I've been pulled over by cops before in the car, you know what I mean? Like so many times. I've never once thought about getting fucked with. You know, we live in a country like that. I don't think America's the same, you know what I mean? Because you could possibly have a gun. You know they've got a gun and they think that you've got a gun, possibly. It's just this weird fucking vicious circle. Get rid of the guns, you know what I mean? And I think people will start being a lot more chilled out. If you need to hunt a deer, fine, do it. If you're that way inclined, do it. Whatever. I don't know. But the religious aspect, I feel like religion should just be banned from politics altogether. It's too weird. There's like these creepy guys behind the scenes, they're all praying to some sort of God, and that's like their ultimate be-all and end-all, right? If everything fails, we can rely on God, and if God has said this or this was said in the Bible, it's legit. It's not fake. It can't be fake, and it can't be untrue because it's written down on this old-ass testament, and he said it, and he's the fucking be-all, end-all. I think Ricky Gervais said it best to Stephen Colbert because he's another religious goon, and Ricky Gervais isn't, right? And apparently there's something like 3,000 gods, apparently, right? So his argument to Stephen was, well, you believe in one and not 2,999 of the other ones. and I just believe in one less than you do. So he doesn't believe in 3,000 of the gods. It's a good argument, right? If you believe in one God, then what makes all these other gods not real? Why don't you believe in them as well? Anyway, that's crazy. The abortion thing, though, it's crazy. It's a heated topic. I understand that polarizes the audience. I'm very much pro-abortion, right? I'm sure a lot of my friends are pro-abortion. I actually didn't really get many people saying like, yeah, nah, fuck anti-abortion. I know there would be a few there, right? I'd love to hear someone's stance on anti-abortion. Like I'd just like to know why, right? I'm interested to hear debate. I would be very interested to hear that. The sexual abuse, the rape victims, all that sort of stuff, I believe that's a thing that you've really got to think about, right? If someone isn't pregnant and they really don't want a baby for those vicious reasons, let them get rid of it. That's the whole mental health, so that's a whole crazy issue you're going to have to deal with forever, I believe. I think if someone's like just totally young and they don't want a kid and it's just like not the right thing, right? You don't want to bring another person in this world when you can't look after them, whether that be mentally, physically, financially, whatever. You just don't want that, right? So you shouldn't have that just because, you're pregnant, right? It shouldn't be a thing. People shouldn't tell people what they can do with their bodies. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope because, I know like transsexualism and all these different things are happening right in the world, right? So it's a slippery slope. We're going, well, we can tell you not to do this with you, but we can force a vaccine in you. We can tell you that you can't have abortions. Now you can't do that transsexual operation that you want to do. Now you can't do this. Now you can't fucking get your breast done. You know what I mean? No more penis enlargements. It's just all these things, right? You know what I mean? I just feel like it's a slippery slope when you really start telling people what they can and can't do, right? Yeah, we talked the religious aspect. I'm just looking here at my notes. Men seem to have a real strong opinion on the abortion thing, I think, maybe more than women. I get it through the eyes of a woman. You, being a woman, are the person that has to carry the child. I look at Beck, right? And it's full on, right? So there's like 9 months of just like your body's changing. It's going through pain. When you get to the finish line, it goes through a lot of pain and then there's no pain anymore. You've then got to breastfeed. You've got to do all these different things, right? Your body never really goes back to what it was. There can be issues with pregnancy and stuff like that. So like me being totally unchauvinistic in that way, I like, when we thought about having a second kid, I like said to Beck, I'm like, look, if we want a second kid, like, it's on you, right? Like, I'll happily raise a second kid, don't get me wrong. But you're the person that has to carry this baby for 9 months, right? And go through all the physical heartache in that way. So it's on you. Are you happy to have a baby? Yes, cool. Well, then we do that, right? So I respect it in that way. So these guys that like just think that it's just a thing. Okay, you get pregnant, then have the baby. It's all good, right? I don't know. I just think maybe they've never seen a woman go through pregnancy and stuff like, because it doesn't look like a shitload of fun, frankly. But I just find that really interesting that some men have those like anti stances when they don't have to do it themselves. I love people that will tell someone something and they've never done it. You know what I mean? This renter over here is giving me advice on buying a house. It's like, but you have never done it. You know what I mean? This unwarranted stuff. Someone that's never started a podcast telling you how to run a podcast, I would tell them to fucking pull their head in because you haven't done it, right? So you go and do it and then tell me how to do it, I wouldn't tell Joe Rogan how to run his podcast because the guy fucking has the best one in the world. You know what I mean? So I would never tell him how to do it. There's just certain things you don't do, right? And that's one of them, right? So for a man to turn around to a woman and go, hey, listen, you need to have a kid, right? We've knocked you up, you need to have a kid. And that's the way it is, because if not, it's illegal. The other scary thing I've seen about this too is I think in America, and I don't know this exactly, but if you are, say, in Texas and it is illegal, then you can't like cruise to California and have an abortion. I think they are trying to like illegalize that as well, which is absolutely insane, right? You can't even fucking free willingly go somewhere else now where it is illegal. Is legal and do it there. That's like someone in fucking Brisbane, Australia that wants to get their breast done going, holy fuck, it's like $10,000 here. I'm just going to wing it on over to Thailand, get my tits done for 2K, and that'll be sweet. That's like them getting stopped at the border on the way home going, nice cleavage, but illegal. Get the silicone out and you're going to jail. That's crazy. That's crazy to me, right? That you can actually get fucking done for something like that. Legal here, not illegal there. It's fucked up. It's mental. So, yeah, I don't know. I have a really hard time wrapping my head around why abortions would be made illegal. I don't get it. You know what I mean? I use the pro gun thing as a bit of a thing just to sort of get people thinking. Yeah. How can someone dictate what a woman can do to their body? Vaccine mandates have entered the chat. But yeah, it's just scary times. Scary times for a lot of Americans right now. I feel bad for people that if it becomes illegal over there, I do feel bad for a lot of people because I think it's going to fuck some shit up. I feel like America's headed for like a civil war. I really do. You heard it here first. I feel like it just really is going that way. But yeah, look, I could ramble on all night. I've got other people I want to talk to about this. I'd love to talk to women about this. I'd love to talk to someone that is like pro and then someone who's like anti, right? I'm pro, so I'd love to get someone on that's anti and just have a back and forth discussion about this. But very interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I probably butchered the fuck out of that when I thought I was gonna be really articulate and get my message across here. But my message is that I don't think abortion should be illegal. I think it should be legal. I know heaps of people that have had abortions. Not heaps, but I know people that have had abortions. Yeah, one of those things. Anyway, that's the show. Pretty heavy in there in the end, but it's fucking 11 o'clock here on a Monday night. I'm recording. Probably going to run out of room soon on the camera, but otherwise, I'm fucking damn glad to be here. King of the Couch, episode 138. We're done. Again, subscribe, like, review, pay it forward. Go to manscaped.com. Use the code KOTC, 20% off and free shipping. Other than that, have a beautiful week, and I love you all. No matter who you are.